Hello, fellow humans. Today, I would like to do a three pile reading for self-love. We're around the Valentine's Day mark, and oftentimes when we think about love for other people, but we often forget to include ourselves in that love. So I'd like to do a reading for self-love, just to see what comes up, what you need to know. So we're going to start with, how are we going to decide our piles? Let's decide our piles from this deck. This is the African Goddess Tarot, I believe. Guides, ancestors, angels, of those tuning in that need messages of guidance and love. Please share with them today. Share with us today. 3 piles, please. 3 piles, please. No. They're telling me no. This is not the pile that they want to use. They want me to use this one? Okay, this one. The Wise Owl Oracle. Okay, Wise Owl Oracle as is. So we're going to switch over to a quick shuffle of these ones. And we'll use this to determine our 3 piles. Okay. 3 cards, please. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right. So for pile number 1, we have Cancer. Let me bring it up so you can see it. If you see a lot of rainbows, I have a rainbow window tint on my window. So when the sun shines through, it makes it rainbows. So pile number 1 is Cancer. Pile number 2 is Jupiter. Jupiter there with a snake. And someone who's very flexible. And pile number 3 is Venus. Venus. If you like to pick with crystals, I will put those down now. So for Cancer, we have Tiger's Eye. Let's see if I can get that in a nice, there we go. Tiger's Eye. For pile number 2, Jupiter, we have Amethyst in a somewhat like a heart shape. And for pile number 3 of Venus, we have the Rose Quartz. So there are your piles, piles 1, 2, and 3. I'll see you at your pile. If you chose pile number 1 with Cancer and the Tiger's Eye, this is your reading. So the first thing I'm noticing when I look at this is she's masked. She's wearing a fox mask. And there's a bit of a pitchfork here. Now, Cancer is generally known to be the sign of water. It's a water sign. That's a trident and the ocean behind her. But Cancer is also known to be, because it's water, in tarot we see the cups are water and cups are emotions. So generally we believe that Cancer is a very emotional sign, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Some people like to think that emotions are a bad thing, but emotions are what tells you how something is resonating with you, how it feels on the inside. Emotions give us very important information that we don't just get through our logic. So this might mean that maybe you need to allow more emotions in. It does. We do see a mask here. So maybe you're masking your emotions, turning away from them. That's the impression I'm getting so far with this card. So we're going to place that over here with your stone. Okay, so self-love messages for pile number 1, Cancer. Where are we looking for that information, please? What deck of cards would you like me to use? Self-love. Okay. My eyes have fallen on the Love Your Light Oracle, so we're going to use that. Messages for pile number 1, please, for self-love. Messages for pile number 1 for self-love, please. What do they need to hear for self-love? and want to share right away. Maybe somewhat secretive. Messages of self-love. Thank you. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. That is a wonderful card. Let's talk about that one for a minute. So the phrase on it, it's happening for you, not to you. So oftentimes when things that are challenging come into our lives, we might see that these things are happening to us, that all these things are happening to us. Life is throwing us around through the waves, kicking us around and happening to us. But sometimes we don't understand that it's happening for us. A storm is very valid and important. A storm comes to clear away what has been. So think of a summer storm. A summer storm, usually, at least in my part of the world, when a summer storm happens, when we finally get rain, there's been humidity in the air for a long time. The air is dense, it's heavy, it's oppressive, it's overwhelming, it's just too much. And finally, we get a summer storm and the lightning cracks and the rain pours down and it usually cools things down a bit. The next day will be sunny and bright and shiny and a little bit cooler than it was. The oppressive heat is gone. So the storms are important. Life is not happening to you. It's happening for you to show you new opportunities, to show you new options, new choices. When storms come, are you going to take the same route that you've taken before? Or are you going to do something different in this storm? It's happening to clear the way. So let's take a minute and read from the guidebook just to see what Rebecca Campbell has to say about this particular card. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. The challenge of life is to keep your heart open when you most want to close it, to let life crack you open, to open through hurt and loss, to allow what is falling away to fall away. Being human is a courageous act. A life well lived is full of losses and tragedies as much as triumphs and adventures. Wherever you find yourself at the moment, life is coaxing you to keep your heart open, no matter how much it hurts. To continuously unfold, to let life crack you open. Perhaps you are going through a difficult time right now. Instead of cursing the difficulty, see it as a blessing. To open yourself up to the truth that perhaps, as hard as it may be, life is happening for you, not to you. And one day, in the not too distant future, you may just bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open because the world needs you open. Now is the time to go gently. Treat yourself like a tender, sweet baby. To wrap yourself in a blanket and trust that the mother has you cradled in her arms. The seas may not be smooth, may not all be smooth sailing, but you are safe and you are held. One day, not too far from today, you will look back at the transformation and be blown away by the poetry of life. Everything is going to be okay. Let it crack you open. I mean, that's a beautiful message. And when it goes with Cancer, when it goes with the sign of emotions, you can be sure that the message coming through is allow the emotions to be felt. Allow the sadness to be felt. Allow yourself to be cracked open. It makes me think of the line in All I Know So Far by Pink, where she says, let the walls crack because it lets the light in. And what she's talking about in that is the same thing. Let your walls down. Let the walls around your heart crumble. Allow your heart to stay open. That's a beautiful love message, and one that I've had to learn personally on my own journey, and I'm still learning. It is a difficult experience when someone hurts your heart to keep it open, even though it hurts. When someone tears down one of your walls and you want to build it back up, it's hard to leave the wall open. But it will help you grow. It will help you grow in who you are. It will help you find love for yourself. Allow your heart to break open. Allow the things that hurt you to come to the surface, because when they do, you can heal through them and let them go, and they no longer have power over you. What a beautiful message. Let's see what other messages we can get through. Where do we want to send now for self-love messages? Self-love messages. Okay. We're going to use the self-love deck from self-love messages from Louise Hay. What message does pile number 2 need to hear for self-love, please? Messages for pile 1. My mistake. Pile 1. I don't know why I said 2. Maybe there's a connection of 2 that's in connection for you. I don't know. Pile number 1, please. Self-love messages for pile number 1, please. Self-love messages. Thank you. Whew. I'll take the one that came. Thank you. Life is very simple. I create my experiences by my thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is absolutely the truth. If you think about words have power, when you speak your words, they have power. So do your thoughts and feelings. Now, if you're on this healing journey, you know you are not your thoughts and you are not your feelings. You are the one who has the thoughts and has the feelings, but you are not your thoughts and feelings. Think of Inside Out, Pixar's Inside Out. Riley is not her feelings. Her feelings have their own experiences inside her head, same as yours. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are more than that. But where your energy goes, where your mind goes, your energy flows. So if you are focused on feelings and thought patterns that cause you harm, that's where you're going to feel it. So you create your experiences by your thinking and feeling patterns. What you believe about yourself and your life becomes true for you. So if you believe these limiting beliefs, then it will become true for you, absolutely. But if you also believe that you can overcome them, they will absolutely become true for you, and the universe will open a way for you. And I've seen it happen in my life and in many other people's lives. When you allow the universe to come in and show you the way, it will. When you decide that you are going to love yourself now, the universe gives you more opportunities to do so. When you decide that you are going to keep your heart open despite the pain that others cause to your heart, the universe will give you more pain to give you that practice. As you promise to keep your heart open, you will be given more opportunities in which to keep your heart open or closed. And you have to keep working on keeping it open. It is not fun sometimes walking the path of healing, but it is the path that needs to be walked for growth. The card was left behind as well, so I'm going to read it because I don't feel that there's anything in coincidences. So this card says, I have respect for my body and I treat it well. I affirm positive things about my body and I tell it I love it often. I know and affirm that my body is a friendly place to live. That is beautiful. Maybe that's something that you're struggling with. Maybe love for your body is something that you're struggling with in this life is happening to you, and thought patterns are affecting your feelings. Maybe your body is an area that you struggle with. You're being given the message that your body is a friendly place to be. Your body, when you tell your body that you love it, when you give your body respect, it will respect you in return. Tell your body you love it. If this is something that you're struggling with, I have recently shared a couple of videos on my YouTube channel as well about self-love activities. One of them being making a figurine of your body with plasticine, clay. And then the most recent one that I published is using a mirror for self-love. That might be something you want to check out if you struggle with loving your body. So let's just get a final couple messages. I would like to see what goddess would like to work with you. So we're going to check out the African Goddess or the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams. I'm currently reading her book, African Goddess Rising. It is wonderful. So let's see what goddess wants to work with pile number 1, our Cancer, our emotional group. Tell me, please. Thank you. Rage, Medusa. Oh, I've gotten this card many times. Now, let me tell you, we often think of the Medusa as the snake-headed woman in Greek mythology, but she is also an African goddess. And I will read from the guidebook just to give you that full message from Medusa. But this is already telling me that part of what needs to crack open for you is you need to allow your anger to come out. When you push your anger down to keep the peace for other people, when you push down your rightful anger, when someone causes you that pain that cracks your heart open, allow yourself to feel the anger. Anger is not a bad emotion. It's one of every human emotion. It's what you do with the anger that makes a difference. If you hurt people with your anger, that's completely different. But you are absolutely allowed to feel angry. You are absolutely allowed to feel anger when people cause you harm, when people say things to you. You are absolutely allowed to have that feeling. So, Medusa is feared as an ugly, vicious monster bitch. The truth? This Libyan, Berber, dark goddess of wisdom's rage is sacred, epic, and fully justified. Her guidance is you are pissed off and petrified, angry and shaking, but underneath that, you are hurt and heartbroken. Feeling undervalued is overwhelming. You can't stay silent anymore. Let your joys, hopes, and beauty rage on. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and put both hands over your lower abdomen. Tune in to the part of you that feels out of control. Flood it with loving, healing, golden light. Now put both hands over your heart and do the same. You have a right to your full range of emotions, including anger. Sacred rage inspires us to run for office, lead protests, and shift policies. But unhealthy rage can devour your very soul. Get clear on what's really happening. Allow yourself to feel the feelings, to see the truth. Just because you feel threatened does not mean that you are being threatened. Her declaration is, I have a right to feel my feelings. You absolutely do have a right to feel your feelings. Allow yourself to fully feel into your feelings, and it will allow you to understand where the feelings come from so you can move through them. What a beautiful message. I absolutely love that. I've gotten that message myself many times, and I do find that it's one that is important. All right, so let's get a message of healing. This is from the We're Not Really Strangers card deck. So what message of healing does pile number 1 need to hear right now for self-love? Thank you. When was the first mental health scare you remember having? What stands out to you about it? So if you've got experiences with rage, Cancer is big feelings, allow yourself to be cracked open. You create your experiences by your thinking and your feeling, by your thinking and feeling patterns. That tells me with this and with your body, you may have had some mental health problems. So if this is true for you, when was the first mental health scare you remember having, and what stands out about it to you? Something to think about. And one final message, if I can find the deck. Where did it go? You know what? Maybe you're not meant to get that message today. Oh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so we're going to go with one final card for an affirmation that you can take with you. I am looking for an affirmation for pile number 1, please, for self-love. Pile number 1, please, self-love. Love. There we go. Thank you. I am safe. I trust my intuition to lead me down the right path. Looking back on my trials, I see that I am still here and thriving. I always end up better, stronger, and wiser. I've proven to myself that I will always make it, time and time again. I am safe. Absolutely. So one of the ways that you can help yourself when you're having these big feelings is similar to what Medusa said. Put your hands over your heart and say, I am safe. I'm safe. When I have issues, when my big feelings come up and they feel overwhelming, that is something that I've learned to do, is put my hands over my heart and to remind myself, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am safe. I am loved. I am safe. I am loved. This helps me to break out of the fight or flight pattern that I'm in with my emotional state. So that's a reminder to you. You are safe. Allow yourself to feel your feelings and remember not to get caught up in the thinking, because that thinking, getting caught up in that cyclic pattern of the egoic thinking, can cause you to believe that that is the truth of what your experience is, that life is happening to you. But this is happening for your greater good. It's happening for your healing. So allow it to break you open. Allow yourself to feel your feels. Allow yourself to feel your anger and your rage. Allow it, because it is part of you. It is okay. You are safe to express your feelings. You are safe to go down your path. You are safe. And you are loved. I hope this message got to you if you needed it. And if you liked these kind of content, I have a Patreon. You can find that information below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you think this might be helpful for someone else. Until next time, pile number 1. Bye. Love and light. Hi, pile number 2s. If you chose Jupiter and Amethyst, this is your reading. So let's have a look at your card here. We've got Jupiter, we've got sacred geometry happening in the background. We've got this snake connected to this very flexible, acrobatic person here. It kind of actually makes me think of Kundalini rising, if I'm honest. The snake that goes from the base of the spine, although on this case it's the front of their body, but the base of the spine and curls up through the body. It makes me think of Kundalini rising, which is just the connection of your energy through your body, the way that it's meant to be, through all your chakras. That's beautiful. All right, so let's see what messages we have for you, our lovely pile number 2s. So maybe that means you're meant to be more flexible. We'll have to see what the cards tell us. Maybe you need to be more flexible. So we're going to get a message of guidance from the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Ooh, that came out real quick. Thank you. Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Wow. So let's read a bit from the guidebook to learn some more information about this. Let's see what Rebecca Campbell has to say about this card. All right. Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? The priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to take it all together. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward to. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who's in your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it's because at some point in your life, you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you are and as you were, and might only be one step behind you. Hell, they might even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up, embrace your struggles, the peaks, the troughs. You don't need to know the way. Just believe that there may be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so they can find you. The inquiry is, how are you being called to step up and lead? How can you be the leader you wish that you'd had? That's beautiful. That does kind of pull into our Kundalini rising metaphor that I used about stepping into your power, about stepping into your strengths. You're being asked to lead whatever it is that you're doing, whatever healing work that you're doing. You're being asked to share your journey with other people and lead them. Show them the way. Show them that it is possible. What a beautiful self-love message. By loving yourself, you can teach other people how to love themselves as well. And Lord knows we need more of that in this world. We need more people who love themselves and can teach other people how to love themselves, because so many of us don't. So many of us have been taught that we are unlovable, that we are unwanted, that we are unworthy as we are. It's so important for us to begin to shed those misbeliefs, those incorrect belief systems, so that we can really find our true power. If you are on that path, you don't have to be fully healed in order to share that with others. Share it as it is. Show people who might be in the very beginning how to do what you've done so far. You might not be anywhere near the end, but you've still gotten farther than the beginning, and that is still helpful for many people. So let's see some self-love messages. This is the self-love cards from Louise Hay. Messages for pile 2. Thank you. One more. Thank you. Okay. You got 2 beautiful messages. The first one. I help create a world where it is safe for us to love each other. Love is the most powerful healing force there is. I give it and I accept it without limitation. This is just what we were saying, where you're called to lead. I help to create a world where it is safe for us to love each other. You're being called to lead again, and you're being called to lead with love, because love is the most powerful healing force there is. You give it and you accept it without limitation. That is essentially the importance of understanding unconditional love, because unconditional love is, by its very definition, unconditional. If there's a condition on the love, then it would be conditional love. Unconditional love means that there is no condition. There's no space in which that love doesn't exist. You might not like someone very much in a moment, but you still love them. You still hold love for them, because the love has no condition. Without limits. I give it and I accept it. So sometimes that talks too about accepting the love that we're given. That just made me think of a song that I've been listening to. I want to say it's Ellie Goulding, Love I'm Given, where it's I'm turning the page on my indecision. I'm learning to change the love I've given, or I'm learning to change the love I'm given. So you learn to accept the love that others give you without limitation, and accept it as the love that they're capable of giving in their time, in their moment. But you give love without limitation. You give your version of love without limiting it, because it doesn't matter if the other person deserves that love or not. You're not there to make that decision. You're there just to give and receive love. That is all. That is the highest vibration. The highest frequency is love. Love is the most powerful force there is. So you learn to give it unconditionally to yourself as well. Give yourself unconditional love. There's no point in which you do not love yourself, because that is unconditional love. If you have conditions on your love, if you have conditions on your love for yourself, if I were thinner, if I were younger, if my hair looked better, if my nose were this way, if my eyes were this way, if my skin was this way, if I didn't, all of those things are conditions. Learning to love yourself means letting go of those conditions. You love yourself without condition. You love yourself without limitations. You also got the card, I trust the intelligence within me. There are no problems that do not have a solution. There are no questions without answers. So you're also being called to trust your intuition. That is the intelligence within you, is your intuition. Trust the inner voice. Trust that if you don't know what your inner voice sounds like, then you need to get quiet more often. You need to have less distractions more often so you can hear that inner voice. You can hear that inner guidance. As you learn to trust the intelligence within you, then you are able to trust your guidance that you're given. Okay? All right. So let's find out what goddess would like to connect with you. This is the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Abiola Abrams. All right. Messages of love and guidance for pile number 2, please. Messages of love and guidance. Which goddess would like to share a message of love and guidance? Thank you. Queen of Sheba, secrets revealed. Okay, so the Queen of Sheba, that actually makes me think of something. I've been recently watching American Gods, and the goddess they give, I'm running a blank on her name. She, the African goddess, she is known as the Queen of Sheba, and she was considered a fertility goddess. So let's see what the book says here. We'll read from the guidebook for a moment. In the Bible, the wealthy Queen of Sheba brings a caravan of gifts to King Solomon. The Ethiopian holy book reveals that she was their Queen Makada, and that together they sired King Menelik I. Her guidance is open your eyes. Secrets are being revealed. It is safe for you to see the truth. Your inner vision is crystal clear. Again, connecting to your intuition, your inner vision. You don't know what you don't know. Your creator, ancestors, angels, spirits, and ascended masters are whispering to you. This is divine intelligence. Pay close attention. There are things that you do not let yourself see. Allow yourself to be guided. Choose your own path. I am connected to the divine. Absolutely beautiful. And again, reinforcing what we're saying about trusting your intuition, leading others by what you know, trusting that inner guidance that you're getting. Okay, let's get a healing message. Guidance for pile number 2, please. Healing message for pile number 2, please. Healing message for pile number 2, please. This is the healing expansion deck for the We Are Not Strangers card game. Thank you. All right. The healing message you got is, what do you need right now more than anything? Take a minute and think on that. What do you need right now more than anything else? What do you need? Maybe something to ponder, all right? Oh, I didn't have to shuffle that. Okay, you got the same message as pile number 1, so you might have been called to that. You got, I am safe. I trust my intuition to lead me down the right path. Looking back on my trials, I see that I am still here and thriving. I always end up better, stronger, and wiser. I have proven to myself that I will always make it time and time again. I am safe. Absolutely. This is again trusting that intuition. That's the third message you've gotten with the priestess who trusts her intuition, like the high priestess. I think that is a message for you. It is time to begin to start trusting your intuition. Secrets from the universe will be revealed to you if you allow the secrets to come. Spend time connecting with your intuition. That will help you find more self-love. Okay? So pile number 2, I hope this message reached you. If you like what you see and you want to see more, I have an exclusive Patreon. You can also like, subscribe, and share if anyone else you think of might enjoy messages of self-love. And until next time, love and light. Bye. If you chose pile number 3 with Venus and the Rose Quartz, this is your reading. So let's have a quick look at this card. So we see flowers, we see roses, we see her touching her own back, maybe touch sensuality. Venus is known as the goddess of love. So maybe this is more apropos. Maybe let's see with the Rose Quartz, which is a stone of love. So let's begin with a card from the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Messages for pile number 3, please. Message of guidance for pile number 3, please. Messages of guidance and love for self-love for pile number 3, please. Or yes, pile number 3, please. You got 2. Everybody else got 1, but you got 2. You must be special. All right. You got align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? And you got counsel of light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. Let's take a minute to read through the meanings of our cards here. So we're going to start with align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? All right. What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be, but there comes a time when it's harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and align life to that way of being. If you pulled this card, you are being called to let go of who you once were, or the things that you once defined yourself by. The job, the relationship. I hear a train. That's confirmation for some of you. The masks you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now, to courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity, to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationship or circumstances, and it's time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are today. What in your life is not aligned or needs to change? What a beautiful self-love message, looking to see what it is that is no longer in alignment with you. Whatever it is that's no longer serving your highest good. It's time to have a look at that. What needs to go? What is no longer serving your highest good? You're being asked to become aware of it so that you can move forward without it. Let's look at our second card, Council of Light. All right, Council of Light says, divine orchestration, helpers of the subtle realms. The Council of Light is a team of benevolent beings who are here to assist the raising of consciousness on this planet. They are here to help you achieve your soul mission and are guiding you every step of the way. However, because we live in a world where free will reigns, they cannot help you without your permission. If you would like their assistance, it's time to ask them. They can help you with all kinds of requests. Nothing is too big or too small. Think of them as your personal team of helpers in the spirit realm. They are willing and ready to step in and get to work. What would you like help with? What tasks would you like to delegate to them? The Council of Light is a team of ascended masters, light beings, angels, and guides devoted to the rising of earth and all humanity. If you are a light worker, it is from them that you receive your personal mission. Like a spirit world United Nations, they want to thank you so much for doing this work and devoting your life to uplifting the planet. Pray to them for clarity and guidance regarding your personal mission. Put in your requests and let them get to work. Hold your hand on your heart and say, Council of Light, I am ready to receive your help for fulfilling my personal dharmic mission. Thank you for guiding me with clarity every step of the way and for sending me helpers and experiences that delight my mind and my soul. What beautiful messages you're already being told in this Venus of love and self-love. One of your messages for self-love is to let go of things that are no longer in alignment with you and ask your Council of Light for their help. It is true, they have come to me in my own meditations and told me, we cannot help you unless you ask us. You have to ask us for help. We are here and we want to help you and we are waiting for you, but you have to ask us first. We cannot step in without your request. You must ask. So if you're looking to let go of things that need to change, that are no longer in alignment with your life and you don't know how, Ask your council of light. That's why these two cards came out together. Ask them for help. They will help you in releasing that which is no longer in alignment with who you are supposed to be, who you are becoming in this life now. Okay. So actually, let's get some self-love messages from the self-love cards by Louise Hay. Guidance for pile number 3, please. Self-love messages for pile number 3, please. And thank you. Self-love messages for pile number 3, please. Two cards of self-love for pile 3, please. 2 cards of self-love for pile 3. Oh, that's too many. I'm sorry. 2 cards, please. 2 cards. Only 2 cards, please. 1, thank you. 1 more, please. 1 more card, please. One more card. Thank you. Okay. The messages you got are: divine right action is guiding me every moment of the day. I know that whatever the outcome is, it is perfect for me and everyone concerned. I trust and know that all is well in my world. This really does connect with our council of light. Divine right, divine light, divine right action is guiding me. Which means that as your council is giving you guidance, they are guiding you all the time for the perfect outcome for you. They're helping you remove what is no longer aligned with you. And they want you to know you are good enough. There's no need to struggle to be better. All I need to do is love myself more today than yesterday and treat myself as someone who is deeply loved. I am good enough. And that's something that we often forget when we talk about self-care. Self-care means caring for yourself the way that you would care for someone else who you love. It means giving yourself that same love and connection and bonding that you would give to someone else that you love. So some of the things that you might say to yourself, are they things that you would say to a friend? Are they things that you would say to your child? Are they things that you would say to your spouse or your siblings? People that you love, would you say that to them? You are being reminded that there is no need to try to be better, to be a better person, to be better than other people. There's no need to struggle to be better. All you have to do is love yourself more today than you loved yourself yesterday. So a little bit each day, just at the end of the day, maybe ask yourself, did I love myself today more than I did yesterday? And if the answer is no, that's okay, because it's part of a practice. It's healing. It's not instant. It takes time to go through this healing path and learn to find that love for yourself. But if you try each day to love yourself a little bit more than you did yesterday, you will come out on top eventually. You will come out at the end. Okay? So let's find out what Goddess wants to talk to you and share a message. This is the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck by Abiola Abrams. I'm a big fan. I'm listening to her African Goddess Initiation audiobook, and I am loving every bit of it. So what Goddess has a message for file number 3 today under our Venus? What Goddess wants to share a message today with our Council of Light and releasing things that no longer serve us, loving ourselves more than yesterday, knowing that we are guided by our ancestors and our team. What Goddess wants to share with our group 3? Thank you. You got Tituba, feeling safe. Now, if you're not familiar with it, I am actually familiar with this goddess just in general. When I was in high school, I read Arthur Miller's The Crucible. And The Crucible is essentially based on the Salem witch trials. And it's a story about, there was an enslaved woman by the name of Tituba, and she was basically made the scapegoat for the witch trials. She was a Black woman, and she was made into the scapegoat, as the young girls claimed that they saw her dancing with the devil in the moonlight. And she was hanged as a witch, I believe. I think she was hanged. So let's see what the book says, The African Goddess Rising, at least in that story of the Crucible. I don't know how much of what you hear in the Crucible is fact and how much is fiction, so I can't say for sure, but I believe at least in the Crucible that was the fate that she was given. So let's read in our book. Great ancestress Tituba was an enslaved Caribbean woman who was the first person accused in the 1692 Salem witch trials. She was most likely kidnapped from the Guyana region in South America and then sold through a Barbados plantation. Her guidance is, it's finally safe to be you. You have wandered through a dark night. Your trip has been long. There is light ahead. Your liberation is apparent. You deserve to feel secure. Feeling safe is knowing that your basic needs are met. Feeling safe is feeling at home in your body. Feeling safe is trusting your journey. Feeling safe is feeling free around those you love. Feeling safe is trusting that the sun will rise again. If you grew up emotionally, spiritually, or physically unsafe, reset your default expectations to a healthier vibration. Her declaration is, I am safe. It is safe to be safe. So I want to give you an exercise that was in group 2, pile 2 as well. I want you to remember to put your hand on your heart and remind yourself, when you are feeling like you are in fight or flight, when you are feeling like these big emotions are coming up, when you're feeling, for me, it was panic is something I used to experience, panic attacks regularly. And when I find myself in these big emotions and I feel panic and I feel unsafe in my environment, usually, to be honest, my environment is not unsafe. It is my own fight or flight reaction that's causing my feelings of unsafe, but my environment is not unsafe. Just as a reminder, if you are in an environment where you are truly physically unsafe, you need to leave. You need to leave a place where you are physically unsafe to a place that is more safe for you, even if that means going to a friend's home, going to stay with a family member, going to stay with someone if you need to be physically safe. But in this case, we're not talking necessarily about physically safe. We're talking about emotionally safe. We're talking about mentally safe. We're talking about our feelings in this case. And one of the things that happens for me when I'm feeling in fight or flight and I'm feeling unsafe, one of the ways that I've learned to heal that is to put my hands over my heart and say to myself, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am loved. I am safe. I am loved. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. Reminding myself that I am actually safe. I am not in danger. Even though my body is having a fight or flight reaction, I am not actually in physical danger. And sometimes that's enough to help me and remind me that I am okay. Maybe that will help you. So let's get a healing message from the Healing Expansion Pack for the We're Not Really Strangers card game. If you do hear some noise in the background, my family has returned for the day. And I'm just trying to get this reading completed before it gets too loud in my home. So please ignore any sounds you hear. So let's get a healing message. No, one message. I'm sorry, one healing message for group 3, please. Just one. Excuse me. Healing message for group 3, please. Healing message for group 3, please. There, thank you. All right. So the message you got says, what does self-care look like for you? Get specific. Create that day for yourself this week. Now, I've talked about self-care before in my podcast. You can find that in back episodes of my show. I think we talked about self-care in season 1 and the different types of self-care available to you. And maybe you think self-care is just a spa day, and it can be, but self-care is more than that. Self-care includes mental self-care. It includes emotional self-care. It includes intellectual self-care, community self-care, time with friends, time to connect with your individual self, time to feel emotionally safe. Maybe it's even watching a movie that makes you feel good, that you know is one of your standby favorites and always never fails to make you feel good. What does self-care look like for you? Really think about what things that you consider self-care, things that you consider showing care for yourself, what you would feel good if someone did for you, and do that for yourself. Okay? We're going to get one final message. We're going to take a affirmation from the I Am Affirmations deck by I Am & Co. Affirmation, please, for pile number 3. Thank you. All right. You got, I am still. I understand that there are times to move and there are times to be still. In my stillness, I seek greater understanding. I take time to rest and contemplate. I strive for unconditional happiness here in the present. I am still. So that pulls in very nicely to your council of light, because you cannot hear your council of light if you are constantly busy. If you are constantly on the go, you cannot hear them, because the only way to hear them is to get quiet. The only way to hear their guidance is to get quiet. So in order to get greater understanding, you need to rest. You need time to contemplate. You need to strive for unconditional happiness here in your present, being present in your moment, learning not to be so distracted by everything around you, but being fully present in your moment. If you take the time to notice the things around you, you might actually notice it's not as bad as it seems. If you get too much in your head, you might not notice how great the things are around you. Take time to be still, to just be a human being, not a human doing. Be a human being. Be. Just be. Okay, so your messages of love, of guidance for self-love in this reading is to let go of what no longer serves you, to check in with your council of light and let them guide you in what you need, knowing that it is safe to feel safe, taking time for your self-care, taking time to be still, and working on loving yourself a little bit more tomorrow than you did today. And loving yourself a little bit more the day after that than you did the day before. And just keep adding a little bit of self-love each day. And before you know it, it's going to snowball into such dramatic self-love you won't even recognize yourself anymore. So I hope that this message reached you. I hope this reached who it was meant to find. If you liked this message, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. I also have a Patreon where I release content in advance, as well as a podcast. If you have not checked that out on my channel, check out seasons 1, 2, and 3 of my podcast. You might find something good in there. There's some good self-love activities in there if you're looking for that. There's a beautiful mirror one, and there's a beautiful one on using clay to create your own body and find love for yourself that way. So fellow humans, I hope this reached you. And until next time, love and light. Bye.